Welcome back to another bullet journaling video for the month of November. I'm sure you can tell by the title, but the theme I have picked for this month is going to be Red, the album by Taylor Swift. Now, before I really get into it and start talking about it, I do have a sore throat, so I'm going to try my best to talk normally, but I might sound a little raspy. So grab a drink. I already have mine. I've made myself tea with some honey to try to help with my voice. But yeah, let's get started, shall we? Obviously, I picked this theme because I am a Swiftie through and through. I have loved Taylor Swift since, I think, 6th grade or something like that. And if you're like me and you're a Taylor Swift fan, you would know that this month she's releasing Red, Taylor's version. I'm really, really excited for this release. Red is one of my favorite albums that she's ever released. And so, yeah, I just thought that this would be the perfect theme for November. Taylor Swift always does a really good job with her album aesthetics. And so I thought I wanted to, give this theme a go. For this left side of my title page, I knew I wanted an image of Taylor Swift herself, in all her beautiful glory. But I didn't really want to draw it. Like, can you blame me? Drawing people, especially celebrities that have very recognizable faces, that's just difficult, and I wasn't down for the challenge this month. So I just printed out a picture at my library in black and white, and I went over her lips with a red marker to add that, pop of the iconic color red. So this month I wanted the calendar to be on a CD case. And I hope everyone remembers what a CD case looks like. I might be one of the last people on the planet who still buys CDs, but I do still like buying them. And that's what I wanted the background for the calendar to be this month. And then I have the actual CD peeking out behind that and going on to the left side of the page. And if you remember, the original Red CD had the red stripes across it, so I wanted to imitate that because I remember just putting that CD in my car on the way to school just all the time. It's good memories for me. And also I tried to make the title look kind of like the same font and the same vibe as the original Red album title. And yeah, and here I start to do the calendar. I couldn't fit all the days across on the CD shape, so I'm doing it diagonally this month, and I think it's kind of interesting, and I think it shakes things up. You guys should expect a lot of references to lyrics throughout this whole video. I really hope if you're watching this, you are a Swiftie, because you will really appreciate all the little things I tried to add just to make references. So I'm really excited about that. Here I'm adding some washi tape that I end up actually removing for the final result. I go back and change this page quite a bit after I filmed it, but don't worry, in the flip through I will show you how it's changed, and I do think it turns out better than it does from what you see right now. Oh, and here I'm just coloring in her hat because I feel like we needed just a little bit more color in that image. Which, by the way, I don't know if I said this, but this image is actually the new album cover for the re-release of Taylor's version. Also, this is totally random, but I cut my tongue on a cough drop today. Like, I totally sliced it open. Has anyone ever had that happen to them? I don't know, but I am just struggling today. I really am. I would say I'm adding insult to injury, but really I'm adding injury to injury, if you think about it. Because now I have a sore throat and a sliced tongue, so good day for voiceover, huh? Alright, and I think this about wraps up all the footage I have filming the title page, but there will be some changes made and you will see those at the end, I promise. And now let's go on to my second spread, and this is going to be my TBR and my hauled page. Now, right off the bat, you might be wondering why I've decided to illustrate a car, but if you're a Swiftie, you might know exactly what I'm doing. I am referencing the song Red and a lyric from it, which goes, "Loving him is like driving a new Maserati down a dead-end street." So yeah, I really wanted to reference this line. I think it's iconic. It's the opening line to the song, and that's why I am currently trying my hand at drawing a Maserati, which I'm not the greatest at. Honestly, my perspective is a little off and everything, but you get the gist. This car is probably the most difficult thing I will be illustrating in this month's spread, but it also ends up being either my favorite or my second to favorite spread this month. And here I am drawing the trees next to the dead end sign. I just absolutely loved this idea. I'm so glad I did this, and I hope you guys like it too. This month I am bringing back the hauled part to this spread. The past couple months I took that out because I just wasn't buying books really, but I have some extra income now, and I do have a book subscription as well, and also I just thought that it would be nice to try to keep track of audiobooks that I get each month as well. So I am bringing back the hauled part in hopes that I actually use it this month. And now you'll see me start to color in the car with red, of course. What other color would I possibly use? I'm using my knockoff Copic markers. These are just an alcohol marker, and I'm using this same red throughout all of this month's bullet journal. I really am quite sticking to a strict color palette this month. I use this red throughout, and just 3 or 4 other colors I am using, which I am really proud of myself for doing that. In the past, I have struggled with keeping my themes really coherent. In this month, I just gave myself about 5 colors, and that was it. And honestly, giving myself only 5 colors made this month's theme just seem so coherent, and I'm really proud of what I've accomplished this month. And I hope you guys notice. And if you ever are struggling with keeping your themes coherent or anything like that, do what I did and just give yourself only 5 colors to use and work with. And that helped me tremendously. Well, I guess I gave myself 6 colors if you include gray, and 7 if you include black, but basically I used 5 main colors, which are red, green, this kind of greenish brown that you can see here, a peachier nude tone, and then a orangier earth tone, which you will see more of that color in the next spreads. Here I'm just really quickly layering in some trees and using the browns behind the green trees to make the illusion of more depth. And really, I did not spend a lot of time on this. I just kind of threw it in there because I wanted it to look more illustrative. I didn't want to spend too much time on the background. You know, the focus of this page is the Maserati and the dead end sign. But yeah, this is essentially how this page turned out. I really love it. Honestly, I love how the trees are stretching up into my TBR and hauled lists. I think that's really great. So on to the next one. Now, this is my books read spread. And for this spread, I'm really keeping in with the whole music vibe. And for this couple pages, I tried to imitate my Apple Music library. So because of that, this is a very simple spread. There's not a lot to it. It's kind of blank in comparison to the page that you just saw me illustrate, but I do enjoy how it turns out. There's some beauty to the simplicity, and the fact that I just stick to the theme colors and everything. I do think that this is a good respite from the two very illustrated pages that come before and after this spread. Now, if you're an Apple Music user like I am, then you might recognize the left side of the page is based off of what it kind of looks like when you've clicked on an album and you're looking at the track list. And that's where I'm going to be putting down the title and author of the books I read this month. I left 13 spots for a reason, although I don't plan on reading 13 books, but I had to go down to at least 13. And then here on the right, this is supposed to be what it looks like when you're in your album library and all your albums are shown in 2 columns. So this is where I will be putting the star rating and maybe a short description of the book. Those will be going on the album cover itself, and then the title and author will be below as if it were the title of the album and the artist of the album. So yeah, this is this spread for the books I've read this month. Alright, and on to the 4th and final spread, and this one might be my favorite. For obvious reasons, this one is again highly illustrated, and it is a illustration of a coffee shop. And I love this page so much because this one has the most Easter eggs, I would say, in it. So, first of all, coffee shop is already pretty iconic for Taylor Swift in her album Red. Just a couple of lyrics that mention coffee shops. On a Wednesday in a cafe, I watched it begin again. And there's another one. Oh yeah, it's I was reminiscing just the other day while having coffee all alone. I love that song. So yeah, there's the coffee reference obviously, and then here I am sketching out a scarf, which is iconic from the song All Too Well, of course. And then these picture frames also hold little bits that are maybe harder to recognize, but little Easter eggs from the song State of Grace. I think State of Grace is my favorite song on the album Red, which, I mean, that's a bold statement to say that it's my favorite song on the whole album, but I'm pretty sure it is. Here on the left, which is not as exciting as the coffee shop illustration, but this is something new from my bullet journals, and I've decided to do a productivity tracker page. So, I'm just making 4 little calendars here, and I am just going to shade in the days that I have successfully done one of the things that I want to track. So one of them is going to be cleaning, the other one's going to be ceramics, the third one is going to be sketching, and the fourth one will be just being mindful of my health. So if I do any of those things, I'm just going to color that in for that day, and I just want to be able to see how often I actually do the things I want to do or should be doing. Now we're back to the coffee shop, and I am just coloring it in, and you will see I am sticking to my colors, about 5 different colors I'm going to be using to color in this page to stick with the theme. And I just had a blast with this page. Obviously it was like a coloring book after I had outlined everything. It felt like a big coloring book, and I just really enjoyed it. It felt really, really cozy, and yeah, I mean, what's not to love? By the way, in case you haven't guessed what the references are in the picture frames, the heart is supposed to be a mosaic broken heart, and that's a line from State of Grace, like I said. And then the 2 triangles are a reference to the line twin fire signs, because the symbol for a fire sign is a triangle, and so I just put 2 triangles right next to each other. And I just love that song so much. And if you got those references, we'd probably be best friends. Alright guys, that's it. We're done. And as promised, I'm about to show you the changes I made to the title page. Obviously, I added the big word red to the album cover, and I've added falling leaves because autumn leaves falling like pieces into place. And I'm sure if you're a Swiftie, you know that reference. And I just love, love, love how this page ended up. Same for this TBR and hauled page. I have my little graph that I've put in at the top, really dainty there, and this one's beautiful. I do really love how this page turned out. Now on to my Apple Music reference for the Books Read page. This one, I feel like you won't really get the gist of it until I fill it in, but it's still nice and elegant and simple. And finally, my last page, which is definitely my favorite. This is just so cozy. It's got all the Taylor Swift song references. I just want to go to a coffee shop and listen to Red now. I don't know about you, but I do really hope you guys like this video. I hope you're excited for the new album, and maybe you want to recreate this theme with your bullet journal someday, which I think would be really cool. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you in the next one. Bye!